Ethan Couch, the boy who used affluenza as a defense to not get any jail time after he killed 4 people from driving drunk, is now dealing with a warrant out for his arrest because he has not followed the rules of probation. Now, he never got any jail time for what he did, but he did get 10 years of probation, and part of the deal is that he needs to report to his probation officer. Well, it turns out that his probation officer hasn't been able to get a hold of him or his mother, so as a result, there is a warrant out for his arrest. A Dallas area judge issued a warrant for Couch's arrest after his probation officer was unable to reach him or his mother. Couch, who is 19, is 2 years into his 10 years probation. He received that as a result of the accident.
So remember, he killed 4 people in the accident, severely injured 2 others. His blood alcohol level was insane. It was,
I think, double.
I thought it might have been near quadruple
Really? It was high.
The actual legal limit. So, but don't quote me on that because I don't have it in front of me, but it was enormously high and clearly illegal. He'd already stolen the beer in the first place. He was underage. I mean, it goes on and on. And the defense said, well, I was too rich to know the consequences. Well, if you accept that defense, what do you think is going to happen next? He's going to keep violating the law and say, well, the judge told me that I was too rich to know consequences, so I'm doing it again. I'm too rich to know the consequences. I never got cured for my affluenza.
It's an ongoing theme with a number of headline stories that we've talked about, right? With George Zimmerman, he's emboldened by the fact that he keeps dodging any consequences for any of his actions. So he keeps going out there and causing trouble, okay? At the same time, you have this kid, Ethan Couch, who uses the ridiculous defense of affluenza and dodges any real consequences. Remember, he had to go to like a rehab type situation, but his parents got to decide which rehab that their kid got to go to. And so, of course, they're wealthy and they're choosing some bougie place to send him to, and then he gets 10 years of probation. There needs to be real consequences, especially when you steal liquor from a Walmart, get behind the wheel when you're not supposed to have anyone in the car or even be behind the wheel, and then you kill 4 people on the side of the road and severely paralyze one of your friends. I mean, it's incredible that this kid keeps getting in trouble and no consequences. By the way, authorities are investigating a Snapchat video of him playing beer pong.
So that's what started all his troubles this time around. So whether it's actually him in the video is not perfectly clear, but that might be why he's on the run. So it's not the guy crashing the table, it's the guy that is on the side.
Yeah, he's standing and watching right there. You see him.
Barely.
Barely,
right?
yeah.
So now, if he wasn't in the video, I don't know why he's on the run. Or maybe he's not on the run. He's just, in the Bahamas. And they're just rich. And they're like, oh, I do declare, I didn't know we had to follow probation like regular people. We were in, Saint-Tropez or wherever they go.
Well, here's one thing that seems to be clear. The defense was that he has affluenza, that his parents, spoiled him so much that he had a hard time learning the differences between right or wrong. Seems like his mom is enabling him in this case as well. So maybe it was a fair defense. I don't know.
If you violate probation, there's been a lot of press about this story, right? You could go to jail for a long time. And if you're a rich white person, you don't want to go to jail for a long time. So, and you have plenty of money, you can go live somewhere else. Is it possible that he just ran and he's like, well, I'll just live in the Bahamas from now on? I mean, we have extradition treaties with many, many countries in the world. It would be a ridiculous thing if he did do that. Since he's got obviously very good lawyers, I'm sure he could beat it again. But we don't know. It's just 2 days. He could pop out of the woodworks and say that he was, on the Appalachian Trail. It's not like other people haven't done that before.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But right now, he could be in a world of trouble.